What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to Salty Runback, here to be your weekly intake of North American Developmental League of Legends. It is our midweek episode, and we have gotten ourselves an interview with one of the most experienced, yet one of the most newest players to the NACL. We're going to be talking with Pockus from Apex Mission Impossible in just a little bit. So had a really fun conversation with him, talked about what it was like to be in that OQ, and of course all of the steps that it took to get him there throughout his entire career. Really good time here on Salty Runback. My name is Grapes, joined alongside Hawk. How are you doing today?
Grapes, I'm doing all right. It's been a nice day. We recorded the interview yesterday. Always great catching up with Pockus. I feel like that's been the first time I've talked to him in about a year. He has been a player that's been a part of our careers basically the entire time we've been, literally the entire time we've been in the scene, but I know we both held a soft spot, for example, like 21 summer randoms and stuff like that. So I think a player that also always just has good things to say. So really enjoyed getting to talk to him, and I'm hoping everyone else enjoys too.
Yeah, I mean, it was really fun to get to walk through the whole history. Like, he seemed like somebody who is just as invested into like the amateur league space as we are too. Like, yeah, bro's a gamer, like through and through. So that was a lot of fun to go over with him. But before we get into the interview, make sure you like this video, subscribe to our channel. Really appreciate all of the support, obviously. It's going to be weird, Hawk. There's no Open Qualifier matchups happening this weekend. I guess it means we could focus entirely on CLOL going into the weekend. We also have an important schedule announcement to go over as well. We're going to be shifting our days around of our recordings just a little bit.
Yeah, we're just moving things back a day. So with NACL being on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we're just going to upload on Monday and Wednesday before the NACL. So that way you're able to get all your dose of salt, and then you can enjoy the new salt for the new week all through the week, and then possibly the weekend with CLOL and things of that nature. So everything will be going back a day. Again, just subscribe to the channel. I don't know, turn on that notification bell or follow our Twitter at Salty Runback NA. Then you'll be up to date on everything that's happening. Shouldn't affect you guys too much, but maybe something to keep our eyes on. And Grapes, you also mentioned CLOL was really the only thing that happened this week, but I will say it is definitely starting to get interesting. You were tweeting a lot over the weekend about tickets being punched to the national championship. Also, as of the day that we recorded, Tuesday, Fisher College, big 3-0 over Northwood, I think establishing themselves as a bona fide top 5, top 6 program in the country right now. And Northwood looking like a bubble top 10 team at the moment. So
I know, not what we expected coming into the year.
No,
with that Northwood team, they've looked a little shaky. Haven't been able to fully get it together.
Fisher, I've been putting together a sheet, which I'm hoping to share with publicly pretty soon. I've been putting together a sheet of basically the tournament resumes for every team. Fisher over the last week has 2-0 to Northwood and UCI. Like, those are two top 10 wins, really big marquee wins for that program. I think Fisher is definitely, as we expected them to, ramping into the year.
Yeah, we had our NACC topic in the headlines episode. A lot of things have changed since then.
Yes.
ISU also lost a series to St. Clair in the NACL Super Conference.
Big win for St. Clair, also scaling into the year.
Yeah, the rankings are all going to be swapped up. I expect some good stuff there. But anyways, headlines on Monday. We're going to have a big special preseason episode of Salty Runback on Wednesday before the NACL kicks off. You'll get it right in the morning, and then you'll be able to watch that before, of course, getting into the games that later that day. But that's enough yapping for us here on the intro. Let's send it on over with our interview with Pockus. We are here with one of the newest members of the NACL and the support for Apex Mission Impossible, the French-Canadian phenom. It is Pockus. Pockus, how are you doing today? Welcome to Salty Runback.
Thank you. I'm doing very good today. How about you guys?
Yeah,
doing pretty good.
Doing all right. Yeah, it's been, what is it? What's today? A Tuesday? It's been a Tuesday afternoon, but we're doing pretty well. But Pockus, I feel like we got to dive right into it because, I mean, this was, in my opinion, the story of the NACL qualifier. The fact that you and your team were able to qualify for the NACL. I know I already kind of asked you this question a little bit about what it would mean, but now you're here. So tell me about just how it feels promoting into the NACL after so many years, you know?
Obviously, it feels really good. Um, I can say though, definitely feels like there's a lot to be proven, right? Like qualifying is like part of the job, but like competing in it is the other part, right? But I'm fairly confident my team and I will perform there. Um, without going, scrims to scrims, the scrims are going fine, in the NACL scrim. So um, definitely really happy for me and my teammates to like after all this time being able to have something to show for it, right? Like there's a
Yeah.
lot of negative pushback. Even like with the way we qualified, I do agree we had the easier side of the bracket, but like uh, I still think we deserve to compete in the NACL, and um, I think a lot of people are looking at it as like these guys shouldn't be in NACL, but I'm just looking to prove people wrong, and so are my teammates.
Yeah, we'll dive into the whole bracket discussion in a little bit, but before we do
We
so,
had
I
a
want
whole
to kind of
conversation about that already too on the
yeah.
show.
I mean,
So
it's clearly been a very like very topical thing, but let's go all the way back to like say this off season, right? You guys played as a core together like throughout the summer split. Then you guys played with a different mid laner for Aegis, and then I guess coming into learning about the NACL qualifier happening, this big OQ where any team can qualify for NACL. I mean, what I was really surprised by or kind of impressed by with you guys is that you guys have stuck together as a core for so long. So I guess going into that decision-making process, like what was that choice that you guys made in terms of wanting to stick together, and how did that come to be?
Um, obviously, Dika and Baz and I have been playing together for a long, long time. Like we're all QC and we've been playing LANs together like for a couple of years now. So like we're always like on and off if we're playing together. And then Lojaz was addition on this team. After every split though, we like reconsidered if we wanted to play together. We did do tryouts and see like if certain stuff could change, and like fortunately for like previous mids, like we ended up changing mid, but like I'm happy we got mini, right? But like every split we would reconsider things if things were going well, and like split by split or like over time we still felt very confident that like we could compete against the best teams or like in our in tier 3 with our core, so we stuck with it.
yeah. And I know you guys, this team was like the first one announced in the offseason all the way back in January. Do you feel like that made a difference in you guys actually being able to promote out of the upper bracket, playing together better as a team, I think, than a lot of the supposed top dogs?
Yeah, I think like the fact that I think the 2 months from January to March were not like the big difference maker, but I think like the ACL split together and the previous OQs together were like
Mm-hmm.
a big difference. Um, and we also like weren't sure when the OQs were gonna be, so like we were ready, like getting ready early for like OQs in
Yep.
February or like early March, and then like it eventually got announced. But um, yeah, I think it does make a difference that we've been playing together for like almost a year now.
Yeah, it feels like there's always this mad rush to like make a roster, like whenever there's like a week before the season starts, and I feel like that's how a lot of the big teams ended up getting formed this split as well. I mean, you think of a team like the Citadel that just got formed like a couple days before the rosters were due, right? And so, do you notice that like there's like kind of some lack of synergy for some of those newer teams, and does that come into play when you guys talk about like how strong you think the different teams are, and also like how you are approaching them when you like, either are playing them in scrims or in competition?
Um, we don't take it into account, I'd say, right? But like it definitely shows on the Rift and like over time, right? Like over the course of the tournament, like some teams were more meshed together and some others weren't. I think that was potentially an advantage that dog fans had. Like they surprised a lot of people. I think they're really strong. I think unfortunately their last day showing wasn't as good as like the weekend before, but that's just what happens. Like in these tournaments, like one day is good, one day is not as good. Like some days, yeah, you overperform or perform your best, and then some days you don't perform your best, and it's unfortunate.
I'm actually kind of curious to talk a little bit more specifically. You mentioned dog fans, the qualifying match, because something that you told me before the match on the day of was that you felt like this team was the most resilient one you've ever played with. Everyone had been working so hard, and going down 2 games to one after insane, heartbreaking game 3 against Dog fans. Like, I would love if you could walk me through kind of what was going in your teammates' mind in that moment. Was there ever a doubt, that you could lose the series, or did you always know you would be able to turn it around?
I think, of course, there's a doubt at some point, right? Like you can lose. I can't speak for like all that went through my teammates said, but like after every game in that series, I was going for like a walk around the block, and then preparing for the next game. And after that third game, I was like, well, like if we lost, we lost. Like there's nothing to lose, right? So like that was kind of my mindset going to game 4, and I was having fun with the games, and I was not like, um, I was gonna be like satisfied with any result. Well, I say satisfied. I was gonna survive any result, but yeah, I'm really happy we won. Yeah, I think we're pretty locked in like through that series, and it kind of showed where like even though we made mistakes, we lost games. We did not let it affect us too much.
Yeah, that was like a long series too. Like every game
That's
was going like
crazy.
45 minutes, 55 minutes, whatever. Like that last game, obviously like the Baron steal at the very end to like win the game. Is that like a play style that you guys try to achieve, like or something that like your coaching staff and you guys like want to try to go for, like playing these long extended games? Because I feel like watching you guys throughout the tournament, it seemed to be a bit of a common trend that whether it was against Dorado or then in that qualification match against Dog fans, that you guys like always like stretching things out late and playing these like really big team fights around the major objectives.
I don't think it's something that we tried to do, right? Like there's still stuff that we need to work on, like macro wise. But I think it's also a testament to like these two teams. They were very like solid, like and not giving us a lot of room in these games. Like they were not just fumbling over after some mistakes. Like they kept fighting back. So the games went long, right? So I think it's mainly like we need to level up our game, which we've been doing, and I'm really confident. And like props to the other teams for holding on as much as they did.
Yeah. Do you have like a favorite moment from the tournament, or maybe like a defining moment or something? Whether it was from the final series or just any of the games that you guys played.
I mean, yeah, I can't go with anything else than like just winning the last game, right? Like that best of
Yeah, do you have
five is
any
like
special comms or something that happened in there that you remember in that moment?
specifically. No, I think we all screamed. I think it's good. um, I got to hear Ox's call about 20 years old is young. I thought it was funny. Uh, that was good. But yeah, like, and then everybody on our team probably got it, but like a lot of like good job, like congrats message from a lot of supporters, like close or not as close, right? Like people you meet through the scene. So that was really nice.
I've got to say, I'm really glad that you got to go back and see that call personally, because I know there was like some people in Twitch chat that are like, what the fuck is this guy saying? But Leanne sent us the like daily affirmations thing or whatever in our Salty Runback Discord, and I thought that was so funny. So I quoted that in like the first game of the series, and then I was very happy I got to bring that back. Oh my god, I was stoked. No, I mean the props were absolutely deserved. Like, to me, I hit a point in that series where I didn't really care who promoted. I just knew I was witnessing like a fucking turbo banger. And then when you guys pulled it out, Shivy's apparently going crazy. Year of Low Jazz. I actually kind of want to ask you about that. I know this isn't a you question, but Shivy in like January said, "This is the year of Low Jazz. Watch AMI promote." Like, do you have anything to say to this side of things?
You just knew, like, at least I'm not a guy, but what can we say? Like, this guy should be new, like, and like Low Jazz definitely like underrated player. Like, I mean, we're just a lot of underrated players on our team. Like,
agreed.
Even after promoting NACL, like people like this whole club like doesn't belong there. And like I said earlier, like I think we definitely deserve to compete there. So yeah, I think Low Jazz is really good, and he had like we said, year of Low Jazz in that last game with the Baron, like that was really clutch. And overall, that last game he had a really great game. There's some hiccups,
oh yeah,
but like
Kindred was filthy,
he popped off, yeah.
No, there were some ups and downs because he like I think he got caught out a couple times, and then we were like, oh no, like it's not the year of Low Jazz, and then it is the year of Low Jazz, and I think like Shivy said like you have to live and die by the Jazz, and that was one of the funniest things ever. That whole series. No, it was really incredible, and I mean now you guys are preparing for the NACL, which starts basically in a week as this episode comes out. Um, like now, like looking forward there, like how have your expectations changed at all? Like after playing in this open qualifier, or now have teams started to respect you a little bit more, or start to ask for more scrims after you guys have reached the qualification and will be competing there this year?
Yeah, we're definitely getting like some NACL scrims and like even some LAN teams or like LTS South, like my bad. So that's cool. In terms of expectation for us to split, I think first is like competing in the league and proving we can compete. Then realistically, like I'm not aiming for the top on the first split, right? I think that's like that would be super cool, but I think that's a bit of a stretch. And then like build up from the first split and then go compete for the top spots. But like, yeah, definitely make our place in the league, like take our place, and then look to improve from there and reach the top of the league.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of curious as well. Like, you've been playing for a bunch of years at this point, whether it's in different lands in Canada or just like in these proving ground circuit qualifiers. Like, you've been somebody who we've been covering ever since we got into the space, and that's definitely not the same thing that we could say about like any of your teammates specifically, right? And so, has it always been your goal or your dream to like play pro, play in the NACL, or is this kind of just like at this point in your career, like just like a nice thing to kind of do alongside like whatever else you're doing right now?
No, it's always been a goal, right? And to make a living through the game, which is not accomplished yet, right? But like I have other there's ways to provide for myself. I'm just like live my passion has always been a goal of mine, like for the last 5 to 7 years, right? It'd be like I thought of coaching full times at some point, and I was like I still like to play, and I thought about transitioning to coaching. A lot of people, like even few couple years back, they were pushing me. They're like, "You're too old as a player. Like you get a coach, right? Then people would like want you to coach. Like you'll have more opportunities, right?" But I still wanted to play, and like I'm happy I get to play in tier two in the next split, and hopefully for like split's future, like I'm not pressed on time, not dead yet, right? Like compared like people in esports is like after 2025 like it's cooked, you should move on. I was like, I don't think that's correct. I think it's uh you do what you want, and like if you can make it work, then you make it work. It doesn't matter how old you are to a certain extent, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I think people are realizing, like in esports, like you see Faker is my age, right? Like we're like 1 month apart. I'm not saying I'm Faker. I'm just saying like it's
He's
definitely
still
not
doing
an
all right.
issue. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he's doing very good, right? And then like he's my age, and I still think Faker like in 5 years could be doing great, right? So I think the age stigma in esport like is something that we should try to like break
Yeah.
slowly. And like it's the only prospect of like I'm gonna go on a bit of a over the subject a bit, but like I look at my teammate like Baz, right? Like I think he's 23. I don't know exactly right now, right? But like if he was 18, people would be like, "Yo, Baz is crazy." Like sushi storyline, right? Like where I'm super stoked for sushi, right? But like I feel a bit bad that I play like Baz, right? Like who hit like 1.6 KLP like a couple times in the past, who like performed super well, right? But his narrative is just not there because he's not fresh. He's not like 18 years old. Like he's 23 and like he's had bad split. But I think it's a bit disappointing that like the narratives just get killed and these players don't get talked about or like respected as much as they should.
Yeah, I think that's a great point to make. I mean, I think it'll always be exciting when some 18-year-old kid or whatever comes out of nowhere. But I definitely agree with you. I think especially as esports, just the scene in general continues to age, right? Like, I think we're gonna keep seeing that talent doesn't just mean young, right? And I think that's a really, really important thing that we're going to continue to see. I think the Faker comparison is actually legitimately a good one because we just saw what he did against like BLG in game 4 and 5 of the World Championship just last year. And so I completely agree with you. So I think in general, I like how you said, I do think this was an underrated team. You all popped the hell off and earned your spot in the league. I think the last kind of major question, it's kind of going on this vein that I have, is you've been playing with this core of Apex guys for a while, but specifically there's been the Apex organization, which is like the Canadian organization as well, and then you've been huge at places like LAN ETS and all these other environments. Like, do you feel like, or I guess maybe the question is, do you intentionally promote Canadian talent the way it seems like that you do? You know what I mean? Like, is that something that you want to be a part of your story and can and have as a continuing thing?
Sort of. Like definitely, like I'm happy it's the case, but I think it kind of just happened because I'm invested in the
Mm,
QC scene through like specific. We have our own tournaments, right? Like small leagues. And good moment to point out, like Baz is somebody I met coaching collegiate in Canada. I was coaching, and like it was a team of like diamond players, and Baz was there, like one HLP Jin one trick, right? And that's how I met Baz, right?
that's
So I
awesome.
think it's like investing myself in the QC scene made me like meet some of these QC players. Zico is more of like chance meeting, and like I didn't even know he was from QC, but as soon as I learned that, like I think the guy is 3 years straight, like playing nonstop, every line, every team together. So glad I met him, and like Sushi is just French Canadian, so like it's just there's just we have some good talent, and it just kind of happened to go hand in hand. Like I
Yeah.
met
I,
some really
I
strong players that are from.
I've been saying this for a couple years now, but I think the amount of talent per capita in like Quebec and like just Canada in general is definitely higher for some reason, and I can't explain it, but I agree. Like, there's a lot of talent in that region, and so it's really cool that you've been able to meet these players in that way.
I'm curious as well, actually. Like, as somebody who's not as tapped into that space, like, what are we missing as like fans of only kind of PGCQ, NACLQ? What are some of the big things that go on like in terms of in just the the QC landscape and the ecosystem there? I know obviously there's Lane ETS, there's just like a really big tournament that happens that I know you guys unfortunately like had to miss this year because of
Yeah.
OQs. But yeah, just kind of wondering like what are some things that like maybe more North American fans should kind of keep their eyes out for in terms of like things to watch?
All things to watch from QC is it's a little hard to like watch from afar, but I think um, we have like 2 to 3 lines a year outside of like LAN ETS, like including LAN ETS. So I think there's a lot of like in person connection, which feels really great, right?
That's great.
Like happens like in other community, but like since we're all like it's a regional community, we all meet up like pretty often. So and then some Discord servers, but yeah, I think the big difference is like the being able to see each other in person at LAN, etc. Like that helps build the relationship, and that's a really fun part of the community.
I know we always talk about like, collegiate programs that are in person that, or like, academy teams that were in person back in the day, like have getting that in just like kind of experience together, like in that personal relationship kind of can help you improve as like both league players and as teammates and as just like friends as well. Do you feel like that helps you guys specifically as well with Apex because, you've played with these guys in person, you've met them in person, and things like that. I know you also played in some lands, like you went down to Boston a couple months
Yeah,
ago as well.
yeah, we love jazz.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, do you feel like that is connected in any way to like your success or anything like that, and do you feel like that's like a big part of what does help you guys throughout a day-to-day basis?
I think it's a small part. Like it helps and it makes it a lot more enjoyable. And like I think big part of like we're talking about like team cohesion and like being able to work together, but like it's a team game, and like a big aspect and very interesting aspect for me of the game is that it's a team game, and um dealing with each other and like working together in a very competitive environment is not always easy, right? And it's fun to learn some very like useful life skills. I'm all like working with people in esports that you can translate to like other areas of your life, right? Like because I think dealing with in a coworker setting in a less competitive job, it's a lot easier to deal. Like the issues are easier to handle than like in esports for like something. It's really emotional, like, and then when sometimes some of us are younger, so we deal with it differently, right? And we're like we have less tools to deal with it. So I'd say yeah, it's a plus to like being able to socialize better, like put a face to an IGN, right? And then like make sure that we treat each other like with the respect that is due, and it's also it's more fun, right?
Yeah, 1000%. Grapes, unless you have any other direct questions at this moment, I feel like we were talking a lot about, Pockus, your history, your teammates that you've played with. I feel like this is a perfect segue into a fun, possibly demonic little activity that we have for you, where Grapes has prepared a wonderful, I can pull it up right now, a wonderful sporkle for you of all the teams that you've played for over the years. With spaces to fill out your teammates. Grapes, I'm realizing that there is top jungle mid 80 carry support listed on all these teams. I think we know who the support is.
Or the mid laner for some of them, because you
Oh,
played mid
really?
lane for a little bit as well.
That is true.
Okay, that's lore.
So 210 teammates, not all unique, as obviously a lot of them carry over, and you have 10 minutes to get as many as you can. Not expecting you to get 100% obviously, but let's see how well you remember your teammates throughout your, I guess, almost 10-year career at this point, Pockus. Let's start the quiz in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Okay.
Wait. I hope you did your homework. There's a lot here.
So I'd say the first thing you should do is you should just type yourself in first. That'll get a lot of the numbers off the board.
Oh, okay. I just typed the names and it places them. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, you got to get all the current guys.
So that's in there. Yeah,
it's already in there. Now. Okay. So let's go with the easy one. Okay.
Starting off with your current team. Very nice. Oh, go
to
Salt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adam, or
it might be Utter still.
Yeah, it was.
We weren't sure if we should call him Adam or Utter on the broadcast. I think we called him Adam. I hope that was right. So.
Yeah. I mean, we wanted to rebrand into Adam, like we talked about it.
Okay.
Because Ader was getting mispronounced
confusing.
a bit, right? So.
Right.
If you scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see the answers that you put in for like the newer names as well. So.
Yeah.
You played with TJ? Wow.
My role swap to support was because I wanted to play with TJ.
Wow.
Damn, that's on low key esports. Oh,
yeah, he sent me he sent me a screenshot of this team recently. So.
Yeah,
okay.
So some players that I didn't really realize you played with was Nuclear. You played a lot of time with. BMX Specs you played a lot of time with as well. Chim, and then now we're going to the Chim, AOE randoms.
That 21
well.
AOE randoms team, dude. I came up following that team in the space.
Yeah. Okay. So, goodbye somewhere. The wildcard people, Toasty Alex. Okay.
Oh, I forgot about the Aces team. Oh my, that team was iconic too.
Okay, the
made
Glaive
top
team
8 and Proving Grounds when no one really thought that would happen. I think I remember the 80 carry on that team.
Yeah, I played with Genesis. Competition 9.
I didn't realize you played with that Glaive core back in 2021.
Oh, I played with some people. I played with Trevor, or maybe it's not in there.
Was he playing AD at the time?
Yeah.
Playing support. I might not have added him.
It's fine. Okay.
Or could he be under Trevor Roy?
No.
Okay.
I played it Roy.
Meech and Tomor together. Are they? Yeah. Okay.
Grapes, do you know
Shorter
how many
S.
Oh, shorter A.
I
Yep,
didn't
there you
count,
go.
but it's a lot. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, it's not easy.
I was gonna say, how many unique people are there?
Think.
So some of these are some of the DreamHack Montreal. These are those lands that you were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you played UPL in winter 2022 with Winthrop a little bit. You kind of rotated
Yeah.
back and forth. There's all this stuff that I kind of just never realized, I guess. So, pretty cool.
That was winter UPL, so I wouldn't have been casting then, because I know I casted a Frost Forest Denethor team in summer UPL. That one had mobility on it too. I think that was before Denethor and mobility were actually at Winthrop, but they were playing with Frosty on a team.
You got 6 minutes left.
Yeah, this
you're
is
halfway.
hard.
You're
Yeah,
halfway
I'm
in.
halfway.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to go in order. LAN ETS 2024. Okay, Enigma. Was not good boy bad. It was Sushi then. I had 2 top laners. Black Rat D-Sport as Kitsu and Robbie Bob.
Classic.
Well, I thought it was here.
That's
that was
ACL.
after.
So
Yeah,
ACL team's
after.
on the right.
It was Jad.
Oh God, who even played AD carry before Sushi on that team on BlackRock? I don't even remember.
You don't wanna.
In our boob.
No,
In our
I know.
boob.
Oh right, yeah, because I fucking interviewed you guys, or no, I interviewed you and Sushi, but you spiced up the pot. Our Brio, that's a good pool. I really hyped them up, and then he kind of got blasted by TF Blade, but that's okay.
It's TF Blade, to be fair.
It's TF Blade.
Yeah,
TF
Blade really ramped up to
Yeah.
initially we see the first scrims like he's doing well, and then like for the tournament he's playing really well. I think.
Yeah, I agree. Right, because you guys did stream scrims right against Near Airport before the tourney.
Yeah, it wasn't our best scrim, but it was
okay.
Good learning experience.
Hey, you had the same result as them, so
Hey, now you're gonna be playing against the NACL. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Okay, now I feel bad about forgetting some people.
Let's see.
So the wild card one, I think you like subbed in on the main team after Rhino.
Yeah. Okay. So
got
it's
moved
Griffin,
up.
it's Alarim. Griffin.
That was such a weird wild card team.
I don't know how it's spelled.
It's just with I's instead of Y's.
All of I's?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Griffin with the Y is the Zoomer jungler who's in Korea right now. With LS.
I definitely remember the AD carry on the Aces team. I'm trying to remember. I think I know the mid laner on that main wildcard team, but I'm not 100% sure.
Jeremy.
Yeah, there you go, the Jeremy.
And then like the main roster mid AD. Is it like Setzi? No.
I have a guess. This is fun for me too. I do not remember the AD carry on that team. Was it?
They're still playing today, if that helps.
It wasn't
still
Red
playing
on that
today,
team, right?
No, not on wildcard.
Okay. Oh, that was the Team Fish Taco team. That same split, I think, or something like that.
Okay, I like this. I don't remember.
Yeah, some of the ACL ones, I wasn't sure if I wanted to put them in or not, but I just put them in just to.
I feel like I just subbed. No.
100% it. You might have just subbed. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
Who was my jungler? It wasn't Low Jazz. Wasn't Rapid. Wasn't Krakenon. Wasn't Jad. I said what Jad? But no, I mean Jad's already in. Guess it feels bad. Who's my jungler here?
These were two that I kind of was like, oh, I forgot that they were on this Apex team because you guys swapped them out halfway through the split that year.
I don't remember.
Oh
actually,
wait, yeah, okay, yeah, Verdict and yeah. Okay, 3 minutes. I'll find a couple more.
He was an assassin player, if that helps you.
In the jungle.
Yeah.
I thought I was.
Played a little Rengar.
Oh, Regidice. Yeah, Regi.
Oh.
Yeah. Ask him to sub for NACL actually. So it didn't work out, but okay. This roster. Don't know why I just remember Devin. Wasn't Dika, wasn't Barrick.
This team was. I think I remember this team because maybe I'm going to spoil something, but wasn't this also a Colthrow team?
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, Culture Geiger. Okay, now I feel bad for forgetting the boys.
Oh, that guy Geiger helps you a lot.
Yeah. The
I got you.
Culture Geiger.
I remember this team. I remember I came to bat for you guys on the committee and they were hating, and then you guys made top 8 one of the tournaments, I think.
But the mid laners, man, it wasn't. Remember Comp 9. Ariandel.
I think so. You have Comp 9, but I think you're missing another person with a 9 in their name.
Another person with a 9,
right? Grapes, am I right?
You're getting there.
Yeah.
Okay, I see a new Blaze from Cup Showdown 2021. That team became Zeus, and you subbed in, I think, for one of those tournaments. Then Chili Mountain Wolves on the right.
Oh
That's
yeah,
one of my
this is
personal
good.
favorite
Yeah,
teams
yeah.
as well.
I can find it's Lunar,
Oh,
Doubtful, Klexo.
that was a doubtful Klexo team.
Zabudo. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Zabudo.
yeah,
Dude,
yeah. That's
that
the
Chili Mountain Wolves
project.
team,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
they were pretty
Wait,
good.
that team was
The
ahead of its time, bro. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
the coach was like some EU guy. He was like, I got a bunch of 15, 16 years old, like, but they need like a veteran presence. You want to go? And I played there. That's
Dude,
fun.
that team was ahead of its time. Zamudo, Doubtful, Klexo, Lunar is stacked. What the hell?
Yeah. All right, you got 30 seconds here, Pocus. So any last
It's
looks
okay.
around? Maybe some LAN teams that you played with as well. I don't know.
Ay, ay, ay. I don't know. I'll feel bad for some people I forgot,
It's
but I
okay.
got a lot of
I mean,
them.
this is a
So
pretty respectable performance.
This is
I'm
a
not gonna
great
lie.
score. I'm very impressed with
This is
how many you were able to
way
get
better
here.
than I would have done. I can tell you that much. So,
so
So let's take a look at the players that you missed as the time goes up.
okay.
So you played in the first ever NACL, or I guess NACS it was called, the Open Qualifier back in 2016 to like get into the Challenger Series. Do you remember any of these rosters? They were kind of like
yeah,
on and
I
off,
do.
like really quick, like right?
Yeah. I remember Dunga Salesman, but I was like, there's no way they put Dunga Salesman in there. But yeah, yeah, I remember that guy. He's great. With some, I mean that first land roster I remember clearly, right? Yeah, no, not that though. I this wasn't this was for the queue, but it was actually Wixie playing the LAN.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So
oh,
maybe the website was messed up, or maybe I put it in wrong.
or maybe Wixie
So
used to be known as Solus Inferno.
okay, so like if I can talk a bit about some of these
Yeah,
quickly.
for sure.
Uh, okay, so this Taiwan Championship Series, okay, the first game, Yami didn't wake up, so Deos played Orange Jungle. We got smacked. We're playing against I don't know which team. They played Olaf Jungle. They took 3 quadrants. They dove us level 3. Deus was like, we're scaling. Like it was an experience. And then next game, like Yami showed up, but like we still didn't win, right? But that was
That's funny, man.
yeah. Deus on Jungle. Shout out to him. And like now I'm happy he's doing well as a coach, right?
Yeah, these Mirage teams were pretty. I mean, I
know.
feel like I like vaguely was aware of them because I kind of started paying attention in like 2020, but you were the like I think they eventually like picked up some other players there as well, but like the core of like Tony Top, Hayami, Scooped, and like Sudsy's in there sometimes too. Like those were some fun teams.
Yeah. Shout out King Georgie, man. That was really fun land. Like him, he was on the stage. We're playing against Courtians, and then we first game we get a double kill bot line. Or I think it was the second game, and then King Georgie, like they're across the stage, right? He screams like, "Play better, Courtians! You're so shit!" Like he just screams it on the stage. Like that was a crazy LAN final. That
Dude,
really,
you should go
really
play in
LAN final.
CBLOL for that. That's incredible.
That is really a big highlight of King Georgie that I'll remember for a long time. Hyper's Lisa and like Hyper was really fun to play with. I'm skipping some of the names, but like I loved all the teammates I worked with, or most of them, So we don't have to say like which one I like less.
Most
but,
of them. Yeah.
Oh, there were
so,
two players with 9s in their names. I forgot about Leo 99, dude.
Leo 99, yeah,
'Cause
Leo 99 was cool.
I was thinking Nem 9. I totally forgot about Leo.
Yeah, I did play with Nem9 too. Yeah, I forgot. No, there's like well, Nem9 had a bad ending on the scene, so we don't have to like
Yeah.
go too much into that.
I thought
Yeah,
Last Dance played really well for you guys in 2023, actually, when you were on the Miracle team.
yeah. He did great.
And you killed it towards the end. I mean, it looks like you were a sub on that team. You want to tell us the story of that ACL summer roster?
I played 2 series at the very end because Barlow was the main support, I think, and he couldn't play 2 of the series. And we won with me, and then they lost the finals without me. Not saying I was the difference maker there, but joking. But like, yeah, like, and that's where I met Diamonds, which is also BB, where we played on LAN with afterward. So it was like 2 series. It wasn't too much.
All right. Well, Are there any other
Yeah.
rosters you want to talk about, or like any cool stories from any of these teams? I feel like this is your chance to like release any fun memories that you have throughout your career, because I feel like it's like a bit of a crowning moment right now
Yeah,
for
it's a
you.
good
Like
trip
out
down
of all
memory
these
lane.
rosters,
Yeah,
all these
yeah.
teams, and then now you're finally in the NACL.
I mean, most of these guys were like cool to work with. Special shout out to Gentle Hearts, I guess, and like the Kraken and Arendelle and Ori and Diesel. That was really fun run. I think we had multiple split together, or maybe it was just one. But I mean, Arendelle, I played with it on a couple teams, and Boob was like that moment. And my favorite team of all time, short up, like all the AoE run, like yeah,
I loved that
big
team too.
big shout out to like this team and short up like in another world. I mean, it was like in proving grounds, and like if he kept going, I believe he had what it had to like what it takes to make like tier 2 and like potentially tier 1. But you know, life forces you into decisions, and like there's other stuff than just league, right? Like I decided
Yeah.
to commit to it, but like that's not for everyone. Like I'm grateful that I'm able to do it, right? And also like not necessarily what people want to do for such a long time, right? So
Did
big
you have
shout
any
out to all
beef
my
with
teammates.
Did you have any beef with Short Hop and Chim being from Ontario? Is that a little rivalry that you guys got there back in 2021?
Nah, we were really close friends. Like, shut up and chill. Like, there was a team like we would hang out like all the time outside of scrims and all. Like, it's two of my best teammates all time. Shut up and Chim.
Yeah,
Dude,
I'm
that's
glad that
legendary.
has a good memory for you, because it definitely has some good memories for us too. Like
Agreed.
like me and Hawk, this is one of the first teams that we covered back on like EGL Summer Showdown and
Yeah,
Challenges
man.
Uprising and things like that. So yeah, some good memories there with those guys.
No, that
for
team
sure.
is legendary. I had a call from an AoE randoms game. It was the final clip in my first reel I ever made. It was you guys against what was it, Dig Mig, the team with like Cyber and Dragoon on it. You guys like
Yep.
pulled out a fucking crazy win. When like I think Chim was playing Wukong or something like that, and like you 4v5 them in the
classic.
jungle. I still remember that play because like again that I got super fucking hype. You won the best of 3 off of that, and it went into my first reel, and that's what got me onto PGCQ in 22. But no, that team's legendary, dude. Short Hop definitely had what it took. I thought that guy was so good too. I mean, Pockus, a fun trip down memory lane, but now you're in to the NACL. I think that's everything Grapes and I had prepared for you. If you have anything else that you want to say,
I have one
okay.
question.
Okay, one more
One
question from
question.
Grace. Yeah.
Maybe we can go back to the full screen here as well, so we can get
Yeah.
Pocus's full reaction, full face here.
What-
Finally made it to tier 2. You got all of the best players outside of the LCS, outside of the LTA. Is there anyone you want to call out right now? Call your shot before the season begins. You got a week before the season starts. Now's your chance.
a specific player.
Player, team, anything.
Shout out Shogo. Good luck, have fun. We've been through a lot, but yeah, let's get it. All right, that's it.
That's
the
gonna be
best
a
player.
fun
No,
matchup,
No,
2-0. 2-0. The NACL 2-0. Shogo. He's not winning a game.
that is the best player to call out in the entire NACL. I will say.
Yeah.
because it's gonna live in his head when you guys play.
Yeah.
So maybe this is like the pre-game warfare that you're throwing out some distractions. I love to hear it.
Oh my god, that's incredible.
Okay, well yeah.
Oh, can I double up? Like,
Yeah. Oh my god, please.
I sell it too. Like he's tweeting like, these guys like, they qualified for free, but like he also got his spot for free, through school. So like he didn't earn it, so he's gonna have to prove some stuff too, right? So like, but it's all
my
fun and
favorite.
games,
I forget if it was Thin Uncle Phil or another coach or something.
I think
but
it was
he messaged
Phil.
him
It
and
was
he
Phil.
said, "Bro, you teleported straight to NACL for free." Like, how's that like, or something like that? Which is really funny. So, okay, the Supernova matchup certainly going to be on
That's gonna
everyone's
be a
radar
good one. Oh my god.
do you know when you guys play? I know the schedule is not fully final yet. If you don't know, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll remember. We'll remember when you guys play, and we'll definitely bring it up. We'll bring up this clip or something like that. But
I also
yeah,
know.
Pocus, thank you so much for taking the time. What's up, Hawk?
I was just gonna say I know that the Ole Miss guys are friends of the show too, so they're definitely going to see this, which is perfect. But yeah. Anyway, I mean, you can continue closing out because this was fantastic.
A lot of fun, Pocus. Thank you so much. Any final shout-outs or things you want to say before we wrap things up for today?
Thank you for having me. It's been really nice. shout out to everybody who support me, my teammate. Big shout out to my mom, right? Like, family support makes a difference in being able to pursue passions like this, right? Like, so that, like, she watches my stream all the time, right? She watches all my matches, so that's really, really nice. And like, yeah, shout out to all the supporters and friends I made along the way.
Yeah. Shout out to all the moms everywhere that support us all
Yeah.
the way, especially Shogo's. Okay, well then.
What a callback. Thank you so much,
Yeah, that's a
Pockus.
good callback. Sorry,
Best
but
of luck during the NACL. And we'll be cheering you on and the rest of Apex along the way. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to Pockus for sitting down and talking to us. Man, I'm still pretty impressed with that. What was that, like a 145 on the quiz? He did pretty good on that. Like,
Dude,
way better than I was expecting.
I know. Like, it's so funny because he's like, oh god, I'm gonna feel so bad about forgetting people, but like, I'm really impressed. This guy has had a very long career. He actually remembered a lot of his teams really well. I thought it was also funny that a good percentage of the ones he missed were just like a couple of teams that he just like didn't remember very well. You know what I mean? But like most of the teams he was on, I feel like he got like 5 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 players with a couple of gaps towards the beginning, which I think is to be expected. So, dude, I mean, it's incredible. Like Pockus, this man is just he's Mr. Worldwide in the League of Legends space. He's played with a lot of our goats, and I'm really happy for him that now he's playing in the NACL.
I know all those rosters. I mean, we said it in the interview, but all those rosters just to finally make it here in 2025. And he's as confident as ever, right? He knows that he's like the underdog. He knows that Apex is the underdog, but he's still not afraid to call people out. Ole Miss, that matchup, we're gonna be circling right there between.
That's the best possible call out he could have made, by the way. Ole Miss is so vulnerable to shit talk, bro. Like, it's so good.
Get in their heads prematurely. That's just how it goes. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of Salty Runback. Once again, we will be shifting our schedule again. So the next time you'll be seeing us is actually a day earlier on Monday with our headlines, recapping all this stuff, and also preparing you guys for that NACL season that's going to be kicking off in just a week's time. It's a bit crazy to think, Hawk, but we're here. We're at the start of NACL for 2025.
Yeah. Check out our Patreon. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media at Salty Runback NA. Subscribe to the channel here because you're not going to want to miss Monday, Wednesday uploads. Probably same time, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. So you can get all of your Salty Runback content before the week kicks off in earnest. We are, as of time of recording, exactly 1 week away from NACL opening day. The games will probably be about concluding around this time, 9:15 p.m. Pacific. So the season is here. We could not be more excited. So stay tuned everywhere. Also, make sure you follow us at Hawkcast, at Speedy Grapes, where we do a lot of things. Grapes is doing some great new TikTok content and short form, things like that. If you like CLOL, it's really great stuff, especially if you've not been super up to date. We are going to try to bring you all the information about all 32 plus teams that are in the conversation towards the back half of the year. But if you think that Apex Mission Impossible is going to crash and burn in the NACL, you can take what Pockus said with a grain of salt. But I think you're going to be damn wrong. Team, I'm hoping, can impress. I've been Hawk. That's been Grapes. Have a great night.